What'd y'all have for lunch today?
Obviously, I had my chicken salad that I pack every single week.
Freaking salads, what the heck? What's up, Shy Boy? You gonna speak? What'd you have for lunch? Tuna. Like what? Like who eats tuna? Freaking. I went to the gas station, got me some Mountain Dew, some Marlboro Reds, got stock up on those, and then got me some roller dogs. Yeah, I'm Jack. I've been here about 20 years. 6 of that I was in prison. Yeah, just got out, had a mailbox, had a grandma, just doing all this stuff. And
the question was, how was your day?
What are you talking about?
The question was, how was your day?
Oh, absolute crap. I don't know what to say. It's like freaking out here in the 90-degree heat, working my butt off all day, doing freaking what knows, you know? Like, geez, like PM sucks, superintendent sucks, do all the work out here, no one does.
If you ask me, I think iron workers are actually pretty darn soft. Hi, I'm Landon. I'm the new guy here. I got my fancy gloves, my boots, my hard hat, and my goggles here. And I'm really excited for this new internship, and I think they're starting to like me.
Hey, yo, you want a Marlboro Red? You want a cig?
Mama don't let me smoke. Half of my dome, she says.
Oh my gosh, this guy again.
Hi. My name is Tyler Tough Knuckles. I've been here for 5 years. I really like the work environment. Landon, he seems like a good guy, but Jack kind of scares me. And I think he's going to consume me. But, you know, I really like tuna sandwiches on my free time. They're pretty good. I really like that celery. You know, it's a good crunch. But you have to use whole wheat bread. My mom always says, Tyler, don't be in that processed stuff. So I try to focus on my health sometimes. That's about it.
I honestly can't anymore. Hi, I'm Miranda. I'm the superintendent on this project, and I've really worked my way up over the past 8 years. And I really love this job. Unfortunately, I am the babysitter for most of these guys because they act like fools on all my projects. But I really love the work I do, and I am very serious about it. I want my reputation to be very strong and held up. So I won't let these guys ruin my projects.
CMU Block's the best foundation out there. Can't say anything else. All right, I think we should use CMU Block Foundation for our foundation type on this project. Just being out of prison, all I had was blocks. Every cell, just concrete blocks, you know. CMU Block stands for concrete masonry unit. Cinder blocks, a lot of people call them whatever, but they're strong and durable. They got a hollow core, so you can fill them with reinforcement or different type of concrete to make them hold more load and be a better foundation type for your house. So kind of talking about the foundation itself, it's going to sit on a footer. And then, because every foundation's got a footer, so it's going to go right, first layer is right on top of the footer. You're going to put in your rebar, your block layers, your mortar. It all goes in together to make this a very strong foundation. Yeah, so super simple, super easy, and I think it's kind of the reason why I like it. All these people that are on this job are doing monolithic slabs and poured concrete and all this fancy crap, and this is super simple, putting block down using your bare hands, getting after it, getting dirty. Super durable, they're strong, weather resistant, they keep out pests, they fire resistant. I mean, what can you ask for more in a foundation than that? I mean, come on, give me some grace now. Low maintenance, so obviously you're gonna have some cracks, you're gonna have some seals, but you're just gonna have to put more mortar on and more seal to fix that eventually. But really low cost and super simple on the durability side. On the cost side, very affordable. I mean, very common material too. You're going to find it in every Home Depot, every Menards, every Lowe's. And yeah, so like super common material, super local material. Every contractor, subcontractor is going to find it, and everybody makes it. So being more available is going to make your labor costs go down. I think that's why I should use it. To me, I don't like sitting there holding a pipe, pouring concrete. I like putting blocks down, using my bare hands to get the job done. All right. Now, where are we going to use them? So we use them in concrete commercial buildings, so super big buildings, like a lot of people on campuses, on skyscrapers. You know, we got a lot of blocks, so that's commercial buildings. A lot of residential is where you mainly see it. That's where I grew up. I grew up building houses when I was 2 years old. Then I got to prison, you know, the story about that. But we use them for basements. We use them for basements. We use them for foundation in residential houses, and then we use them for retaining walls. So all those grandmas that love to keep their gardens up super high, got to make a big bowl. You know, that's for that. But that's why I think we should use CMU Block. Super simple, super easy. Got off the job site today, and all these new guys, what does he want?
If you guys are going by the bush, ICF Foundation is amazing.
Oh,
Sorry I'm late, guys. ICF foundations tend to be a fairly strong material for above grade construction for commercial and residential infrastructure due to the supports within the foundation to be poured in with concrete once constructed. These foundations also provide great insulation support. As you can see in the image on the right, that there is rigid R20 insulation that can help maintain the temperature of the structure from the inside, but that can be variable as well with the R value. ICF foundation is a quite expensive ICF foundation is a quite expensive alternative to wood frame structures due to wood being much more available and easier to obtain than ICF. In the table right next to me here, you can see that ICF costs a little more than $2 per square foot compared to wood framed houses. However, when it comes to energy costs, ICF costs around $24 per month to maintain to achieve the same energy performance as a wood framed house that costs approximately $35 per month, showing that ICF foundations can overall be worth more value than wood. ICF foundations are very durable forms of framing as they have interlocking teeth that are glued to the grooves of another piece to ensure the structure is secure. Once the structure is put together, rebar is run horizontally and vertically so that concrete can be applied to the cores of the ICF to make the foundation water resistant, which eliminates the risk of mold or rotting that can be prevalent with wood. Here are some of the steps to installation of an ICF foundation. First, you're going to be making sure that you have all the corners laid out for your structure, while you have your doors and windows also all laid out and you know where they're going to be so that you can plan ahead. Then you can first start putting your first layer of your ICF foundations, making sure to zip tie everything together and making sure to connect them so that they're securely fastened. After that, you're going to install the second course of the blocks by going the opposite direction and making sure that you have strong seams where each of the blocks contact, normally using glue to make sure that they don't separate, and of course making sure that they're level across all the blocks. After that, you can easily put in your windows and doors at all of the heights that you already have in your plans and continue the ICF foundation construction as you go. And once you're done with that, you can apply some bracing to make sure that they don't fall over before you inevitably have to pour more concrete and put in the rebar. After this, you are going to put in the rebar where they're going to be vertical so that you can, after that, place your concrete and pour it in there so that it'll be constructed secure, and make sure that it'll be strong so that it'll be able to resist that mold and all of the problems. And then once the concrete is poured, that is basically the final step before you can put on your siding and interior boards and your roof. What were you up to last night?
I choose that.
Monolithic slab, I think, is the best choice out of the concrete. What is it? It is a big old block of concrete. They're comprised of a single pour cement application with thicker areas of concrete around the perimeter and areas of supporting load-bearing walls. A monolithic slab requires a few key components. It's a single pour of concrete with fiber reinforcement, wire mesh, formwork, and vapor barriers. On top of the additional cost, a square foot of monolithic slab can range from $5 to $16 per square foot, and labor will also accumulate to $3 to $5 per square foot. But in the greater scheme, it's pretty cheap. This is the three main things you're going to need for monolithic slab. Monolithic slab is common in suburban and urban areas. For more rural regions, concrete may need to be hauled further, increasing traveling expenses. But look at this image right here. These little yellow dots are concrete suppliers. There's a lot, there's plenty, and it's pretty cheap to move. Monolithic slabs have the potential to last 50 plus years. They're pretty durable. It really depends on how well you set up your rebar and how well you set up your vapor barriers. The vapor barriers help the moisture to stay out of the concrete, and it prevents cracking. Over time, the slab can weaken over moisture and defeat its integrity. The rebar helps reinforce concrete. Climate also plays a large role in the longevity of a monolithic slab. It's important to consider cold seasons and where you live. See, this house here may be good for monolithic slab, but if you have cold seasons, it may crack and it may last not as long as a house in Arizona. Now, monolithic slab installation is pretty simple, right? I have a little drawing here I made myself. This is like dirt, you know. Say you have a giant flat land, right? This good old dirt pile, pretty much take off a little bit of dirt, make these holes, right? Now, these black things right here, that's wood. That's your barrier. Now, you put that down, you make a hole, and you fill your hole rebar. That's the red right here, right? Line it with rebar, and under that rebar of that dirt is the good old vapor barrier. Now, this other side here is more dirt, and it's squeezing the concrete together. Because the idea of monolithic slab is that you just pour once, and normally you just take a little nozzle and you pour it all over the place, right? So it fills the gaps, but I mean, if you were to fill a cup with holes, it would leak. So you don't want it to leak. That's why you have this wood compressing and holding it together. You let that dry. That's pretty cheap compared to these ICFs. You know, you got them big old blocks you got to put on. Takes a lot of blocks, takes a lot of manpower. You just take the nozzle and just fill a cup of dirt. It's pretty easy. To help better visualize this, watch this video of concrete being poured.
Obviously, we're doing poured concrete. This is the final decision.
Why does she get what she wants?
Okay, I'm going to keep this short and simple. It's a very easy concept for most people to understand, maybe not the people on my projects, but first you're going to prepare your site, and this starts with whatever you need to do to clear your land or just make it ready for concrete to be poured. This is different for every project, but it kind of just depends. Then you're going to set forms, and these will help keep the concrete in the area that you want and give you the shape that you want as well. And then you are going to prepare and mix, prepare your mix, and then also set aside a little testing area so that you can make sure that it is set up how you want and that it gives you the finish that you want as well. And you can mix it through your trucks, or you can do hand mixing depending on the size of your project. And then you're going to pour. This is the easiest part and pretty understandable there. And then you will do an early finish if you want, and this will kind of give a like pre-setup for once it starts to dry. And then you're going to use your control joist and edges to solidify the edges for each concrete, and this will really just give it that finished look, especially if you've seen sidewalks or other finished products that have the edges on them. And then the next step is really putting that texture on and making it have that solid look and finish. And it really just depends on your project. Commercials, you won't necessarily have a finish with your smooth poured concrete, but for sidewalks or other areas like that, you will. And then you're going to seal, and this will help make the concrete last for a while and really give it that finished look and protection from elements and anything that it may come in contact with. And then the last thing is just to let it cure. And this may take a couple of days depending on the environment that it is in. But really, this is the best option. I can't see how anyone else would really want to pick any of the other options. This one is the best. And I will stand firm to that. So in this video, you will see how a small porch is poured and put together and then until it's finished. So obviously here there is, Tyler, get out of here. And then it is smooth once it is all poured, and you will clear the edges, as you can see, and really hammer the edges so that there are no voids, and then smooth it out. And this really creates a full sheet. And then, as I explained, you will have the edges on each side, and then you can add a pattern and texture if you'd like.
Why are we doing poured concrete?
End of debate.
I'm going Ryan with this. Get back here. Ryan?